are all interconnected. We're all interconnected to one another. 1.8 billion Muslims all over the world are interconnected. And that's why we condemn every time there's a hateful act that takes place, no matter what part of the world it does. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we're out here. It's the thing. We're outside on Fifth Avenue, across from the French Consulate. Outside on Fifth Avenue, across from the French Consulate right now, and there actually have been actions out here in the past. I haven't been up here for a while, just because a lot of the stuff going on in the city, as most of you know, I've been covering for a lot of reasons, but I wanted to make it up here today, just because it is a pressing issue. Yeah, they've been out here for a while. It started at 2 o'clock. I think it was 2 o'clock. And I just got here. I was following up with some of the stuff from the Rise and Resist action. But
नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत। लब्बैक या रसूल अल्लाह, 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 लब्बैक या सय्यदी मुर्शदी या नबी या नबी, 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 लब्बैक या रसूल अल्लाह, 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 सय्यदी मुर्शदी सय्यदी मुर्शदी या नबी या नबी, 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 सय्यदी मुर्शदी
So I forget how long the rally, the action is going to be going on, but if you're up nearby, want to come out in solidarity, definitely do. We're on 5th Avenue. They're on 5th Avenue between East 75th and East 74th.
सब आवाज़ बुलंद, कितना जोर है आपके अंदर, पूरी जुर्रत के साथ नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत, सैयदी मुर्शदी या नबी या नबी, सैयदी मुर्शदी या नबी या नबी, सैयदी मुर्शदी या नबी या नबी, come up and address this procession that we are here. आवाज़ बुलंद चलाओ. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه المنتخبين المنتجبين، واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين. We are all here, the followers of the beautiful religion Islam, to first of all show our unity on the occasion of Mawlid al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Muslims of different denominations and sects have gathered here together at 5th Avenue, New York, at 5th Avenue, New York, in Manhattan, to show our love, our respect and obedience to Khatamul Anbiya wa Sayyidul Mursaleen, Prophet Muhammad al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And alhamdulillah, 2 billion Muslims in the whole world are united in the love and respect of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We Muslims, we Muslim Americans who are living in America, hereby declare that Islam is the religion of justice, peace, love and respect. There is no room in Islam for hate or hate mongering. And every Muslim denounces terrorism in its totality. We Muslims are the first people who are the victims of terrorism. We denounce the evil outfits like Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS, and any other individual who is engaged in any form of terrorism. Muslims denounce terrorism and all the terrorists without exception. And we also denounce their financiers and donors and supporters and creators of terrorism and their bosses. We, the Muslim Americans, have gathered here also primarily to condemn and denounce the hate mongering done by President Macron of France. And the speech in which he has delivered recently, 2 billion Muslims are saddened and feel offended and humiliated and insulted. There is no room just because there is one unacceptable act taking place by somebody or two unacceptable acts taking place done by somebody or 2 or 3 acts done by somebody does not justify to denounce the beautiful religion Islam or to start bashing the greatest human Allah created and the most superior messenger of Allah, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a fine line, Mr. Macron, between freedom of speech and hate mongering. What you have delivered in your speech is not the freedom of speech. And the cartoons that have been published are not the freedom of speech. In your own country, France, you can just Google Roger Guerrodi. Just Google Roger Guerrodi, a French philosopher who was persecuted. Where is the freedom of speech about Roger Guerrodi? We find that if there are cartoons published in a French newspaper against the British royal member of a royal family, there is an injunction filed and the French court declares a penalty of 10,000 euros per day unless the original photographs are submitted to the court. So there is no freedom of speech about publishing an unacceptable picture of a royal member of the royal family. And there are so many other examples that I can give. What happened in Spain about the Spanish royal couple pictures, and what happened about publishing a cartoon against the Zionist Prime Minister. So there is no freedom of speech. Mr. Macron, freedom of speech does not justify obscenity. There is a fine line between insult and freedom of speech. We all believe in freedom of speech. We all support the freedom of speech. We are here in support of the freedom of speech. But that does not justify insulting the messenger of Islam and offending the feelings of 2 billion Muslims. In no country in the world can you find the freedom of speech is absolute. Freedom of speech is not absolute. So there are restrictions and exceptions in the law in every country. And there is no justification whatsoever for anybody to abuse the freedom of speech and justify the profane language and insulting language against the most peaceful person that ever lived on earth. But that reminds me of the history of France. 132 years precisely. 132 years of French occupation of Algeria. And the French colonies in Africa. Let me quote to you some of the quotes from academicians. So, this is the first quote that I would like to mention, and Mr. Martin Evans. He is the author of the book called, the name of the book, which is written by Martin Evans. And in this book, he has mentioned that if you look, the name of the book says Algeria, France, Undeclared War. In this, Mr. Martin Evans, who is a professor of history in the University of Portsmouth, England, says, and I quote, much of the, he's talking about the segregation that was taking place inside the French Algeria, how the Europeans and the Muslims and the Jews living under the colony were segregated, and this is where he says much of it was crude face-to-face violence, followed up by ritualistic dismemberment. And also another quote that I would like to mention, where it is mentioned that this is the reference of that is from the British Financial Times, where it says that the Europeans and Jews and Muslims inhabited different spaces, coexisting but never truly intermingling. Marriages between these different groups were very rare indeed, and the result was a society that was deeply divided and deeply unequal, defined by hatred, conflict, and tension. And let me mention to you another quote by the professor, an American professor, where she is mentioning about Jennifer Sessions from University of Iowa. She's mentioning about, talking about the French colony. She says that so the French have practiced horrific violence in the name of civilized values in the Sahara from 1944 to 1902. And so this is something which is documented by the historians, about the way the French colonies behaved, and segregation, discrimination, hatred. So we are just reminded about the hatred spread by the French in the past during the colonialist era. So we are here to denounce every insult, be it in the name of freedom, be it in the name of freedom of speech, because this kind of insult equals to insulting the freedom of religion and the freedom of all the human beings in the world. If you agree, please say, Labbaika ya Rasulullah. Our message, brothers and sisters, and all of my audience, Muslims and non-Muslims, our message as Muslims, as Muslim Americans living in America, our message is the message of respect and love. If you meet a Jewish person, respect him. If you meet a Christian, respect him. If you meet a Hindu, respect him. If you meet a Buddhist, respect him. Mr. Macron, this is about who we are. This is what Islam is. Our religion teaches us to respect the people of all faiths. Our religion teaches us to respect the synagogues. Our religion teaches us to respect all the churches. Our religion teaches us to respect all the temples. We respect the holy places. We respect the holy personalities. We respect the holy scriptures. There is no license for you, Mr. Macron, to spread hate against Islam. Fire can only be extinguished through water. You cannot extinguish fire through the fire. I would like to suggest inter-religious exchanges taking place between various faith communities, because we are a very small, tiny community of this world, living together, intertwined together in order to attain social justice and harmony. We, the human beings, require positive, healthy interchanges so that we can live a life of justice, peace, and dignity and mutual respect. If you agree, please say Labbaika Ya Rasulullah. And here are some of the resolutions of this gathering. And if you agree, please say Labbaika Ya Rasulullah at the end of each resolution point. Number 1, all the insultive caricatures and cartoons must be banned. All those culprits who insult the holy personalities of any faith must be brought to justice, especially the recent insults against Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. President Macron must apologize for his hate-mongering and hate-filled speech against Islam. The respect of all the prophets and saints and holy personalities of all faiths, all the holy scriptures of all the faiths, all the holy places of all the faiths must be maintained. The persecutions and victimization of general Muslim population in France must stop immediately. The mosques, the Islamic centers in France must not be raided based on the Islamophobia and hatred against Islam. The freedom of speech must not be abused. And at the end, on behalf of our National Non-Profit Muslim Congress and also Jafriya Association of North America and all the rest of the cooperating organizations who have worked hard since days and days to make this event a successful event. For every organization that participated in this peaceful event, please recite one salawat for all of them. We would like to thank each and every one amongst you for your participation in this peaceful event, and your reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you for standing for the sake of the dignity and respect of our beloved Prophet. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you and bless all the human beings of conscience. Thank you.
Jazakallah khairan.
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु मोहम्मद या मोहम्मद या मोहम्मद या असरा खुदा ने वो पजीराई के बस या मोहम्मद और एक पल में मुस्तफा को अर्श पर बुलवा लिया एक पल में मुस्तफा को अपने घर बुलवा लिया अपने बंदे की खुदा को ऐसी याद आई कि बस या मोहम्मद और गिनते गिनते थक गई तारों की नाजुक उंगलियां गिनते गिनते थक गई तारों की नाजुक उंगलियां मुस्तफा के हैं ज़मीन पर एक निशादाई के बस या मोहम्मद और देख अब भी वक्त है दामन नबी का थाम ले देख अब भी वक्त है दामन नबी का थाम ले वरना कल महशर में होगी ऐसी रुसवाई के बस या मोहम्मद और उन फरिश्तों ने अभी पूछा ही क्या था ऐसा रोज फरिश्तों ने अभी पूछा ही क्या था ऐसा रोज गफलतन मेरे सिरहाने से सदा आई के बस या मोहम्मद की शबे असरा खुदा ने वो पजीराई के बस या मोहम्मद मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. We are here, the Prophet of Islam is nothing but the rahmah for entire humanity. He came in to teach us and taught us peace, love, and affection for each other. Wherever he went, even when he moved from Mecca to Medina, he made brotherhood between the Ummah. Each and every one was designated as brother of each other. That is the personality of the Prophet. What we see today, it is actually the hate against Islam. It is against the people of the Prophet, follow the Prophet. We know the French government, when they were ruling in different parts of the world, they were the most heinous crime what they're doing in their nations, and they were the one looted the followers of the Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By allowing this to happen over and over, to produce such kind of hate-monger speeches, and also the cartoon which they issued recently. And top of this, the government of France, Macron himself endorsed it. And also his hateful speech make Muslims very angry in a way, and also feel humiliation. We are here today in French Consulate to make sure that they should understand and they realize and convey our message that each and every Muslim of the world is being hurt by this kind of rhetoric and with this kind of ongoing, one after another, degrading Muslims and also making fun of the Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We represent here the Muslims all over the world that we demand from French government to be respectful. And the same way as respect to others. So Maulana made a speech and he described each and everything, how it is difficult if you make any fun of anybody, if that is not permitted. Freedom of speech is a different thing, but humiliation of somebody, especially Prophet Muhammad, or more than 2 billion followers in the world, is different. Therefore, we demand from the France not to bring hate among the human beings. Bring the message of love and peace. And inshallah, we also respect each and every religion of the world. And also at the end, I'm thankful to all of you who came in here in such a bad weather, especially Maulana Abbas Elia, who came all the way from Washington, Seattle. He came in the night, I think, and going back just now, about a few minutes, So we are thankful to each and every one, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward for us to coming here, inshallah. And we end the program by having a dua, Imam Zaman alayhi salatu wassalam. Everybody together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma kulli waliyikal hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala abai fi hadhihi as-sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a waliyan wa hafizan wa qa'idan wa nasira ودليلا وعينا حتى تصبحوا أرضك التقى وتمتعوا وراءك قليلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وعليكم الصلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد لبيك يا رسول الله لبيك يا رسول الله لبيك يا رسول الله لبيك يا رسول الله.
Brothers and sisters, let's recite the Dua al-Wahda before we leave. I request all of you to please hold the hands of each other. Sisters can hold the hands of sisters. Let's recite the Dua al-Wahda that the Holy Prophet recited. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah, ilaha إلا إياه مخلصين له الدين ولو كره المشركون لا إله إلا الله ربنا ورب آبائنا الأولين لا إله إلا الله وحده وحده أنجز وعده ونصر عبده وأعز جنده وهزم الأحزاب وحده فله الملك وله الحق يحيي ويميت ويحيي وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله.
So there you have it. I'll be putting up a lot more information. Normally I would have put out a lot more information. I knew about this action taking place actually a couple of days ago. I just, as you know, been wrapped up with a lot of stuff, so I wanted to get out here. I'll be adding stuff into the description, find out more about what's been going on, the groups that are involved in organizing this, and how you can support what they're doing in the fight that they're working on. Again, thank you for tuning in. Solidarity forever. See you guys on the front lines, and right now plans are to be in DC. So those that are going down, I hope to see you.